Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to show you some new 1/6 scale weapons that I got from Fergo on Instagram. Some of these I've had for quite a while. The newest ones to arrive is that Art the Clown Scalpel, and the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, his axe. That's metal and wood. Incredible. And a Joker knife, the Heath Ledger Joker knife there. And we have this new H40 knife, 1/6 scale. And this was a big surprise for me because where's the original one? Where is it? Oh, that there is the original H40 real metal knife that I got from Fergo, and I always found it a little bit underscaled, a little bit too small. So eventually I got in touch with him. We got some other stuff done in the past in between, but then I came back to the H40 thing saying, is there any chance you could do a slightly bigger one for me? But then he came back with the idea of doing a short run of a DK H40, and I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I messaged him just saying, you know, is there any chance of getting that stuff from you? And he turned out he'd been very hard at work working on cool ideas. So here's the new H40. It is slightly bigger, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to zoom in on this, but it actually has the night vision logo lasered into the wood. So that was not my idea. I'm not that you know, full of myself, like, hey, can you put my logo on the knife? That was all Fergo's idea, and he got in touch and told me all about it and showed it to me, and I was like, well, that's really cool. So I'll show you the size comparison with the old one. So yeah, definitely bigger handle, thicker handle, longer blade. So it's really cool. So I think he's doing a short run of these, and they come presented really nicely in the beautiful sort of foam protection there, and this bit goes over the top, and then you got the nice tin that it comes in. And yeah, it's really nice. It was a really nice thought from Fergo, and it was a big surprise for me. You got his logo there with the SF Run 1 prototype, and then my logo for the channel there. And I remember he was deciding between two different images of Myers for the packaging here, so he went with this one. It's pretty cool looking. So yeah, get in touch with Mr. Fergo on Instagram if you want to grab yourself one of the small run of DK H40 knives intended for your 1/6 scale Halloween 2018 Michael Myers figure. This is the knife I'm going to be using with this guy now. He does amazing stuff. That's the Ghostface knife there. And then we got the Hobo Myers knife from Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie movie. That is an absolute beast, that knife, very sharp. That's the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie knife from 2007. That's the Elrod knife from Halloween 2, 1981. That's a 78 knife, the original Halloween. That's 2018 Michael Myers hammer. And then we have the Art the Clown Scalpel, which I still need to see if that fits in between his fingers. I need to remove the one that's permanently kind of stuck there. I'm going to show you that in the video. That's the 2018 Halloween Fire Poker, and that's the newest addition to the collection. That's the real metal and wood axe for the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, and the knife for the Heath Ledger Joker, which I'll show you him holding that as well. So yeah, highly recommended, man. He's enhanced a lot of my figures. You'd be surprised how much of a difference it makes when your Michael Myers figure, or your Ghostface, or your Art the Clown, or your Creeper, whoever it may be, when they're holding that real metal. It's just obvious that it's not plastic, and it really does enhance the realism. So highly recommend him. Does incredible work, and I've never seen anyone else do work as good as this when it comes to weapons. I mean, I've had some great weapons from people, and you know, there's some amazing Michael Myers knives being made by artists out there, but just all the stuff that I've seen from Fergo, he's just on a different level. If you check out his Instagram page and all the different types of weapons that he can make, it's really quite something. And I've shown you in the past I think it's 1/3 scale Freddy Krueger glove with the real sharp blades. It's just amazing, really dangerous, so I have to be careful handling it. Yeah, the guy does amazing work. I'll show you some figures holding these knives now. I just went back and double checked my messages with Fergo folks on Instagram, and pretty sure from the pictures he sent me, I have the prototype of this, and there is a run of 5, so there's 5 available. I have the prototype here. So yeah, I saw on the other cases that it did say, you know, he had all of them together. It said 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, you know. So there are 5 of these that he's made. So yes, the new DK H40 knife does seem to be in much better proportion to my 1/6 scale 2018 Michael Myers. I am using a bigger body than the one that Tots gave us with this release. It's still the Tots head sculpt for the 2018 Myers, but I have repainted it. He does have custom coveralls by Tanila's Customs. I believe he's on one of those JX02 bodies, possibly. But this knife works really good with this size. Very happy with it. It is super sharp as usual, so you have to be very careful when you're handling it. This is something definitely for adult collectors. If you've got kids around, be very, very careful about stuff like that. Do not be fooled. These are shrunk down real knives. I recently showed you on the channel this real shrunk down to 1/6 scale Halligan tool that Shadow Fergo made for the Halloween Kills Tots figure. That is something I definitely recommend you get. It really is satisfying. Very heavy, very sharp where it needs to be. And like I said in the video, it's a shrunk down to 1/6 scale real Halligan tool. It's amazing. It really takes the Halloween Kills figure to another place. And then we have the scalpel that Shadow Fergo made for the Dick Warlock Myers, and he is currently holding that real metal scalpel. Fits in the hand really well. And that is definitely a nice addition to him. He's also been repainted, folks, and he's got custom Yunsil coveralls that have been weathered. It's an amazing piece. And then the 78, I believe that is another 78 knife that Shadow Fergo made. The Lamson, very, very, very nice knife. Beautiful work on the blade, the handle. I think it's called the hand guard as well, between the handle and the blade. Just amazing work, man. Beautiful quality on those. But yeah, that Halligan tool is something else. Now for the scalpel that Shadow Fergo made for the Trick or Treat Studios Art the Clown figure, I'm going to have to remove the one that's already kind of stuck in place on the figure when you get him. It's a pretty decent looking scalpel, the plastic one here, that the figure comes with. It's not too bad, it certainly looks convincing enough to me. But it was one of the little things that Shadow Fergo threw in because I had some things ordered with him. I still haven't painted the eyes on my repaint of the clown yet. I will do that in the future soon. Need to get some time to do it. So I'm going to try out the scalpel now, but first I need to pry this one from his fingers because it's kind of glued in place. I'm just hoping that he will hold on to this new one. Seems to be about the exact same size, but we'll know soon enough. Alright. It does fit between the finger and thumb perfectly there. I was able to remove the plastic one that's stuck in place when you get the figure stock. Just gave it a little waggle, it eventually came loose after a few seconds. Nice and easy to do. And then just put the real metal scalpel in place, and he holds it firmly. And it looks great. You can definitely tell it's real metal as it catches the light and glistens. So that is a awesome addition to the arsenal of weapons for your 1/6 scale Art the Clown figure. So yeah, get in touch with Shadow Fergo if you want a real metal scalpel for art. Alright, let's take a nice close-up look at the Creeper axe from Jeepers Creepers 1/6 scale. Beautiful woodwork here. Looks like it's been handled a lot. That's actually really impressive. I've never paid that much attention since I got it. I've been so busy. I haven't really stopped and taken in all the details on this. This is the first time I'm really paying close attention to everything here. And that is pretty remarkable. It really looks aged. Awesome work. But I've already checked. The figure holds onto it perfectly. It's awesome. It's got a real nice weight to it. Alright, let's put it in the figure's hand. Alright, and here's the Creeper holding on to the axe. Absolutely beautiful. Tempted to maybe bloody it up a little bit. I might keep it clean. I'll take my time thinking about that one. That's a hell of an axe though. You've got the three kind of spikes on the end, like a spearhead on the top, and then obviously the business end. Oh, there's a lot to fear with this. But again, the woodwork, the weathering, the age to it. Masterful work, Mr. Fergo. I've taken my Creeper to another level. It was already pretty damn good. And here's the Ghostface knife, which I've shown you before on the channel, but I just thought I'd show you again. Beautiful knife. The one that came with the sideshow figure was plastic. It was a nice looking knife, but for Ghostface, it's such an iconic knife. I would recommend you get one of these for sure. I almost forgot about the quarter scale Lamson knife that he made for my custom, 18 inch or 19 inch custom Michael Myers from the original movie. That's a hell of a piece right there. Custom coveralls, custom head sculpt, and the custom knife by Shadow Fergo. Absolute beast mode, this one. Really big, really sharp. A quarter scale version of the historic kitchen knife Michael Myers used to take care of business, 1978. I got some fingerprints on it from handling it, but it's a very, very beautiful piece of work right there. If you want to see more of this figure, I've reviewed it on the channel. Just type in Dean Knight 333 custom quarter scale Michael Myers. Get a couple of videos come up from over the years. Yeah, Mr. Fergo also provided more excellence in the form of a 1/6 scale real metal machete for the Sideshow Collectibles Jason Voorhees figure. Again, very sharp, very much a real machete shrunk down to 1/6. Absolutely amazing work. You can see that sharp edge running all the way down. Jason loves his machete. Now here are the Joker knives. The top one is the Hot Toys plastic one, and then the one at the bottom there is the new one I've received from Shadow Fergo. The blade does not move on the real one by Fergo, and also the handles look different. I went off on Google and just typed in Dark Knight knife Heath Ledger, and mostly I'm seeing the one at the top Hot Toys made as far as the look at the handle goes. I did see one picture where it looked more like this. I'll show you the figure holding the knife now. Alright, so here is my Heath Ledger 1/6 scale Joker figure holding on to the new knife by Shadow Fergo, and it looks fantastic. It's a little bit loose in the hand. One thing I would say, if Mr. Fergo is watching, when it comes to making 1/6 scale scalpels and smaller knives like this, there's always going to be, unless you have, you know, the exact figure it's going to be holding, that's going to be holding the knife or holding the scalpel, I would say it's always best to make them a little bit bigger rather than risk them being too small, because there's nothing worse than when you have a weapon that doesn't quite fit in the hand. You get it with official figures all the time. You know, certain Hot Toys figures, Sideshow figures I've had come with hands to hold certain things that they just don't hold onto very tightly. So I would always suggest, if you're not sure and you're making a scalpel or something small like that, make it fractionally bigger just in case, because it's better to have something where the figure's hands grip it a little bit more tightly because it's slightly bigger, rather than it being a little bit too small for the hand and constantly having it drop out of the fingers and fall out all the time. But everything so far that I have fits in the hands. The scalpel fit in the Halloween 2 Dick Warlock figure's hand perfectly. Same thing for the Art the Clown figure, he holds onto the scalpel perfectly. This particular situation, you know, it fits in there just fine. It's not super tight. If I was to, you know, pick up the figure and start waving him around, probably let go of it, but it looks good. Let's take a look at the scalpel up close for the Tots Dick Warlock Halloween 2 Michael Myers. Fits in the hand really well, nice and sharp at the end. Really good job on that. I might take it out of his hand for a moment just so we can see it. And there it is. It's pretty simple, there's not much to it. It's just a small 1/6 scale metal scalpel. Very sharp. Alright folks, I'm going to wrap up the video. If I was going to order anything else from Mr. Fergo, I would see if he can do some 1/6 scale real metal handcuffs, because these ones are plastic. They came with the Hot Toys DX11 Joker. They're quite beat up now. I've had them a long time. And Catwoman could do with some real metal handcuffs. And also I'm going to see if he can do me an upgrade on my Halloween Kills old Huckleberry baseball bat, because the one Tots provided just doesn't really look very accurate. So those would be the next two things I'd be interested in getting. Definitely recommend you get in touch with Fergo and upgrade the weapons for your 1/6 scale figures, or your NECA figures, or your quarter scale figures, or your 1/12 scale figures. He does them in all scales, and he can pretty much make anything. So get in touch with the guy, he's good people. And I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. Follow Shadow Fergo on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you real soon. Enjoy the hobby, take it easy, bye bye. Now that's another one, Fergo, if you're watching. I do need a real Beskar spear for Mandalorian. because the one Hot Toys gave us is plastic and doesn't match his armor. Don't really care if it's exactly the same chrome finish as the armor, but I would like to have a metal spear. So I'll talk to you about that, Fergo. Send you the measurements and all that. It's a Star Wars shelf. And also, now that I think about it, the John Rambo from First Blood could use a real metal knife. That would be pretty badass. And I don't know if you can do this, Fergo, but my Oscar that goes with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is plastic. Could you make a real metal 1/6 scale Oscar statue? I don't know. But that would be cool.